You stare at the phone in your hand numbly after an earlier morning call from the jeweler revealing the identity of Gabby's secret lover was Mr. Lewis. For the next few hours, sleep evades you as your mind churns with questions about the two of them. He wouldn't. There must be some sort of explanation. But you can't think of one. We've all been sussing the teacher for a while now. Hey, birds! Chapter 8, I don't want to believe. Morning comes, and you call others over to your house. Okay, now that we're all here, could you please tell us what's so important that you made all of us wake up at 8 in the morning on a Sunday for it? Well, I heard back from the jeweler about the necklace. Donovan, you might want to sit down for this one. No, he shouldn't be here at all for this one. Just say it. It looks like Gabby was secretly dating Mr. Lewis. No freaking way. Gabby and Lewis? This can't be true. It's gotta be some kind of mistake. I'm with Donovan on this one. Maybe Lewis just gave her that necklace as a, I don't know, friend? Tyler, I don't want to believe it either. I'd love to find out that there was some other explanation here, but wishing for something doesn't make it true. But this is Mr. Lewis we're talking about. He's such a great guy. Seems like maybe you need to rethink that statement. We thought Jay might be a client, but now I'm guessing it's Mr. Lewis. Joshua Lewis. This is what I was helping Gabby cover up. I think I'm gonna be sick. You and me both. How could Gabby be dating a teacher? Literally happens every day anymore, let's be honest. I helped Perdita investigate a teacher in a relationship with a student's married parent once, but a student is way more messed up. Donovan starts pacing, his expression dark. Guys, don't forget Gabby's the victim here. I mean, she was 18. Assuming this started around the time she started to fake date you, it was going on before then too. And even if you did wait until it was legal, it doesn't matter. Dating your high school student is way wrong. Just a small step from a secret affair to murder. Can we really assume that at this point? I mean, what if he really loved her? Not that I'm saying it's okay, but murder? Somebody had to. Is it so hard to believe that just because he's nice, it couldn't have been him? Pretty much, yeah. Donovan stares past Tyler and Stevie, his gaze falling hollowly on something on your wall. If this got out, it would ruin him. Illegal or not, he'd definitely be fired, ostracized, maybe have to move, start over somewhere else. Maybe she decided she didn't want to do it anymore, and if he couldn't have her, no one could. Or maybe even wanted a teenage doll. When he got bored, or she got too old, or a million other things, he threw her out. The rest of you still letting Donovan let it out. He clutches his fists and tears streak down his face. You've never seen him look this dangerous. Not that you blame him. If Lewis actually did this, you'd want to be a danger to him too. I think Lewis is the next piece of the puzzle. Maybe he killed her, maybe he didn't. But finding out what happened between him and Gabby is key to finding out who else might have wanted her dead. But if it was him, we'll make him pay. Wordlessly, you reach a hand out to Donovan. Slowly, painstakingly, he unclenches his fist and grabs on your hand like a lifeline. Behind the anger, there's desperation, gratitude, and need answered as he quietly holds on to you. Screw Mr. Lewis. He's a total piece of... Hey. What if the jeweler made a mistake? Maybe Lewis bought a custom necklace for someone else, and the receipts got mixed up. Think back to the mess of the papers littering the jeweler's desk. It's definitely possible the jeweler was super disorganized. So there's still hope this is all a misunderstanding, then. For now, yes. We'll have to keep digging. Oh, well then, how are we supposed to do that? Walk up to Mr. Lewis and ask him if he'd been dating one of his students who recently died? Blake, what did you and Perdita do to prove the student's parent was having an affair with the teacher before? We searched her office for evidence. It was one of the first times she trusted me enough to share tricks. I wish we had those tricks now. Well, I've got some tricks of my own, and maybe I can remember what she told me that day. Diamond choice. Relive your memories with your sister. That's nice. "6 years ago. Are you really gonna go in there and search her office? If you don't blow her cover first." "Sorry. What can I do to help?" "I need you to keep the secretary occupied. Keep her talking. As long as her eyes are on you, I can sneak into Miss Ekberg's office and get the proof we need." "I'm on it. Know anything about her?" "Well, Karen Keatley. I called her last week and got an impression she takes her job very seriously, and she's got a proud streak." You gave a determined nod. "I won't let you down." You put on the brightest smile and walk into the reception area to polite confusion of the secretary at the front desk. "Honey, are you lost?" "Not at all. I'm here to learn about the secretarial arts, waiting for my aunt." Secretarial arts. "I'm a student at Beechwood Middle School, and I'm working on a report about future job prospects. I called someone in your office earlier about coming by for an interview with a Miss Keeley." "Really now? That would be me. I'm so pleased to hear about your interest. It really is a noble profession." You managed to engage Karen Keeley in extensive conversation about her daily responsibilities with a burst of encouragement, while you see Perdita sneak past behind the desk. Yep, that's really teaching the skills right there. Half an hour later, you and Perdita tumble back into her room, laughing with relief as your successful con. "Did you get everything you needed?" "Yep, thanks to my favorite teammate." She nudges you with her shoulder and pulls a pile of papers out of her jacket. "On a more serious note, I know who Tanya Ekberg is having an affair with now." "Who?" She lays out a series of crumpled love letters signed Love Adam. Her kid's 4th grade teacher, Adam Wellesley. Wow, a teacher got with a student's parents? I mean, there's nothing really wrong with that. Except for the whole affair thing, but you know. As far as I know, there aren't any rules against it, but it's hard not to feel bad for those kids. They have to trust their teacher, right? And now he might be the person who breaks up their parents' marriage. Yikes. Why do you think he'd do something like that? Knowing. I just find the evidence. I'm not inside the guy's head. Maybe temptation was just too great. I mean, he had to know what he was doing was wrong, but maybe that was part of the thrill. Yep, pretty much. And those are pieces of human garbage. Sometimes I think I've trained you too well. You shouldn't be so world-weary at your age. Never too young to be cynical. Pretty much. I don't know, maybe I should have let you be a kid longer. But you'd miss my help too much. Well, case closed. I'll pass these letters to her husband, and what happens next is up to the Ekbergs. But what happens if they don't say anything? Will the teacher just get away with it? What if he does it with another parent? That's not my job, Blake. I'm getting paid to deliver the goods, not to deal out justice to pervy teachers. How do you know where to find this stuff anyway? Well, finally, an easy question. You can learn a lot about people by looking through their trash. She suddenly grins slyly, sliding open a desk drawer and waving a crumpled piece of paper. And you, Valentine Blakestone, are no exception. Wait, what? What do you mean? Dear Rowan, my heart beats faster when you walk into the homeroom. The way your chestnut hair falls into those perfect almond eyes. Sounds like my baby sister has been cursed with a crush. You never should have read my private things. You shouldn't have thrown it out in the kitchen if you didn't want someone finding it. If you're going to be a detective like me, you have to learn to watch your paper trail. Yep. That's why you flush it down the toilet in shreds. I mean, what? You lunge for the embarrassing love letter in her hand, succeeding only in ripping it in half. At least you've destroyed the evidence. Not really. But seriously, why don't you just tell Rowan how you feel? You mean, you think I've got a chance? You'd know better than I would, Blake. I don't know Rowan existed before this morning. Hang on, why were you digging through the kitchen trash in the first place? Piece of bacon fell in there. Good catch, Detective Blake, but I'm afraid I can't tell you that. Come on, Dita, aren't we past all the secrets? I've got to keep my, well, some mysteries to myself, Val, trust me. It'd be much easier to trust you if you actually told me stuff. Maybe when you're older. And don't think I didn't realize you're just trying to get attention off of you and your super embarrassing love letter. Well, at least now I know better than to leave a paper trail. You sigh, despondently flopping onto her bed. But what if Rowan never notices me? I thought about that Jeremy too. And now you're inseparable. Honestly, it's kind of annoying. I'm glad I got you to myself today. Between you and me, you're a better detective partner than him. I never doubted that for a second. The things people do when they're in love are pretty mysterious, and it's hard to tell when it's love or just obsession. Are you talking about Miss Ekberg and her kid's teacher, or you and Jeremy? I'm just saying in general. But thanks for your help today, Blake. And remember, be careful what you throw away. Got it, Dita, and... Thanks for letting me help out. Thanks for the romantic advice. You know you can tell me anything, right? I wish that were true, Val. It is. Whatever's going on with you, I can help. She ruffles your hair and gives you a kiss on the forehead, which you wipe away with a grimace. You already are. Yeah, well, not as much as we would have hoped. Your heart pounds at the memory. You hadn't thought about it in years, and so much has changed. But I guess one thing stayed the same. Perdita always had secrets. You okay over there, Blake? It's nothing. I was just remembering. You take a deep breath and do your best to turn your focus back to the present. Dita taught me that you can learn a lot about someone from what they throw away. If we get the chance, we should check Lewis's trash. Gross. Toughen up, Buttercup. It's just garbage, and if it's anything like Shirley Manson's band, it'll be totally awesome. That's the spirit? Anyway, he's got a personal waste basket next to his desk. If there's anything on the school premises, it'll be there. It's less drastic than breaking into his apartment, but isn't it still a bit risky? We're gonna have to take risks if we want to get answers. Stevie inhales and unclenches her balled-up fists. Makes sense to me. We just gotta find a time we know he'll be away from his desk. I've got a class with him first thing tomorrow. I'll keep an eye out for an opening. Don't go alone, Blake. I don't want you getting caught without backup. I'm not gonna get caught. Do you really think so little of my stealth skills? Like, I mean it. That's how abusers get away with it. They specifically wait until you think you're safe, and then they make it so you never feel safe again. Stevie, are you okay? I'm fine. But Gabby isn't, and it might be because of that man, so please, just don't do anything rash. Donovan stands up from your desk, running his hands through his hair. I gotta go. Process all this. I still can't really believe it. But Stevie's right. Be careful. I should be heading out too. Homework doesn't seem to care about everything we're uncovering. Stevie stands to leave as well, but you got your hand in yours and are startled when she flinches away from your touch. Hey, hang back a second, will you? Stevie swallows hard and nods as the boys file out. Let's take a walk. I think we could both use some fresh air. You Stevie weave through your neighborhood. The suburban quiet rising up around you. You notice her breath coming quicker, but gradually they even out as you give her some space. I know where this conversation's gonna go, and I'm not gonna like it, but here we go. I'm not gonna like it about as much as Stevie. Eventually you reach a picnic table, or area, tucked into the trees, and you both instinctively take a seat at one of the tables. Feet up on the bench, the way you used to when you were kids. You want to talk to me about what's wrong? Stevie cracks a wry, humorless smile. I mean, what isn't? We're investigating Gabby's murder. The school's heartthrob teacher might have been abusing his authority to have an affair with her. It feels like there's something else going on too, something personal, something involving an abuse of trust. You're good, Ace. She sighs, the smirk falling from her face. You want to know why I hate Brett Morris so much? We were friends once, kind of. He's not a guy who likes hearing no, especially when the person saying it is some silly freshman girl. It didn't get very far, thankfully, but are you sure you want to hear this? I can give you the spark notes. Interesting. Regardless of your choice, Blake will have the opportunity to help and console Stevie. Please look after yourself and only engage with as much or a little of this content as you're comfortable with. I'd like to do the full scene. However, if anyone in watching currently does not want to see either one of these, I would suggest fast-forwarding 2 to 5 minutes ahead in the video, I'm assuming. Well, let's go. It was freshman year. My parents were pregnant with their do-over baby, and I was feeling self-destructive. I snuck out, went to some upperclassmen party with the popular sophomores who adopted me. Gabby, Brett, Tyler was even there. I wanted to prove I could hang out with the big dogs, drank a cup of something. I should have asked what was in it. Don't say it like it's your fault. This isn't on you. I know that. If Gabby had found me, or Tyler, I would have left the party with nothing but a hangover and a few mild regrets. But instead it was Brad, I take it. He got me water, put me in the backseat of his car to drive me home, and then climbed in and started kissing me. I told him to stop, but he didn't. And nothing, thankfully. His girlfriend, Judy, found us and dragged him out of the car. He claimed I tricked him into giving me a ride, then pulled me on top of him. She clearly preferred to believe that I was a homewrecker than that her boyfriend was an abuser, so that's what she did. Stevie. And just like that, there went my reputation, but honestly, I was just grateful that I got out of there before anything worse happened. If you're listening, Judy, this one's for you. Stevie holds up her hand in a mock toast while you look on in horror, turning her words over in your head. Oh, so yeah, that's the story of how I almost lost the old V card. She laughs bitterly, but you don't join in. Stevie, no one should have to go through that. Yeah. That's why I'm always warning you to watch out. The thoughts of it happening to you kills me. It kills me that it happened to you. Of course, to everyone else, the story was just that I made out with a guy with a girlfriend at a party. Did you tell anyone your side? A few people, some of them believed me, like Abby, but what were they gonna do? Cancel him over a few kisses? A few kisses. Do people really believe that's all that was? Or could have led to? Stevie shrugs. Technically, that's all it was, and maybe that's all it would have been. There's no way to know. A couple people suggested reporting Brett, but I gotta admit, I didn't think it'd do anything but drag out the whole ordeal. Still don't. And if the news is anything to go on, nothing would have happened to Brett anyway. Exactly. How do you feel about it now? I'm okay, more or less. I was ousted from the cool kids club, but after that, everyone kind of forgot about it. The world moved on. Judy and Brett broke up like a month later, and then Judy moved away. It was like it never happened. But you lost all your friends. I found better ones. That's sweet. She sighs and lays back on the picnic table. You join her shoulder to shoulder as you look up at the clouds scudding across the sky. Not that you can attribute to feelings to clouds, but they seem inevitably carefree. I'm not, telling you this because I need pity or anything. It happened, and it was horrible, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but I don't think of it as some life-defining moment. Stevie, no one would blame you if you did. It's not your job to minimize the hurt he caused you to make me feel more comfortable. Thanks, Blake. I'll keep that in mind. But honestly, it has nothing to do with my day-to-day life. Life moved on. I did too. And I just want the world to forget that Brett's a slimy little cretin. So, is it stuff like that brings it back to the surface? Yeah, it's easy to imagine that Gabby never wanted to get romantically involved with Lewis. She just got in over her head, and she didn't have someone to pull her out until it was too late. Maybe. We don't really know what happened between them. Yet. You and Stevie lie that way on the picnic table for a while, watching the clouds in contemplative silence, till Stevie takes a deep breath and stands up. Thanks for letting me get that off my chest, Blake, but we've got another creepy perv to catch. You roll out of bed the next morning with just enough time to make it to your first period class. AP Chem with Mr. Lewis. Basically stay to the end of the movie. Stay to the end of the video, and we'll have a talk. Hey, Blake, how was your weekend? At least you and Millie are getting along again. Not too bad. I went to a party. Let me guess, you were up all night, and that's why you look like you're about to pass out. Let's go with that. The classroom door swings open, and Mr. Lewis walks in carrying a cup of coffee. Morning, class. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Just looking at him makes you feel sick to your stomach, but you can't look away. Mr. Lewis, guess what? I officially made it to the state level for National Science Fair. Congratulations, that's huge. Alicia gives Mr. Lewis a hug. Are his arms lingering around her a few seconds longer than necessary? Is it just you? The bell rings. You ball your hands in a fist and try to keep your cool. Trust me, I'm a scientist. It makes me giggle every time I see that on the board, though. Okay, everyone, I've got your test back on atomic structure. Most of you have solid understandings, but as always, if you have any questions, feel free to stop by, and we can go over it one-on-one. He goes around the room, handing back the test. His hand brushes yours when he gets to you. Smile and pretend nothing's wrong. You want to flinch, but manage to keep it in. Well done, Blake. You should really consider joining the Science Honor Society. Thanks, Mr. Lewis. I'll think about it. He gives you another friendly smile before moving on to the rest of the class. Alright, class. I'll give you the rest of the period to finish up on last week's lab. Polish those reports. If you have any questions, I'll be at my desk. You pull out your binder and flip to the page with data from last week's lab, just as Millie leans over and whispers to you. What's going on with you? You look like you have the plague or something. You wish it were that simple. This is about Gabby, isn't it? Millie, it's so much worse than anyone thought. How's that possible? You believe Gabby was murdered, and it doesn't get much worse than that. That's what I thought. Turns out I was wrong. What exactly is going on? And this is how the rumor mill starts, though. You have nothing concrete. You have no proof. You only have assumption right now. Keep that in mind. This is how rumors get spread, though. I thought you didn't want to know this stuff. Well, seems like I'm gonna find out about this one whether I like it or not, and keeping this secret is obviously killing you. Killing her from blabbing, maybe. Okay, so you know that necklace from we found in Gabby's room? Did you figure out who gave it to her? The jeweler was able to find the record of who bought it, and it was... You tilt your head slyly towards Mr. Lewis's desk. Saying it aloud while he's in the room seems too dangerous. No! Yeah. That's horrible, my god. What are you gonna do? You're not gonna like it. That was back when I thought this was an accident and you were sneaking around for no reason. Blake, this is serious. Well, right now, we need more proof. It's possible the jeweler made a mistake. I'm trying to find a moment to search his desk. You grimace, watching as Lewis types away at his computer, while the class does a worksheet. Why couldn't he slack off and sneak a break in the teacher's lounge like Miss Potzig, the European history teacher? Which might be easier said than done. To your surprise, you turn to see her smiling broadly. Well then, it's a good thing we have the pep rally today. Everybody will be there. Mr. Lewis definitely will. You can sneak in then. Millie, you're a genius. I know. 4.13 GPA, baby. Just promise me you'll get someone to help. I'd go, but I'm pretty sure they noticed that the mascot was missing from the pep rally. You really shouldn't risk getting caught in here alone, especially if you really did. That's exactly what the others said. But 2 people is riskier than 1. Isn't it better not to get caught at all? No. Well, I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, it actually would be better if it was you and Donovan. That way you could be like, hey, I snuck off with my boyfriend, or I was consoling Donovan, or, I mean, really, yeah, no, it's actually high. Person who nearly had a 5-point, GPA, but, I digress. Hello, mascot here. I've got a ton of room for improv in my routine, so I could probably make a distraction to cover for your escape. It's the least I can do. If your accusations are true, he needs to be in jail. Millie. Let's never fight again, okay? Seriously, lunch got so lonely, and no one else I know is good at Wordle. Sure, you don't want to join the team. I know you're wary of Tyler, and I looked into it. His secrets, they're not what you think. He's not dangerous. I'm glad you followed up on that, but I still think I should be more of a sidelines gal. I've gotten my Velma fix. Pep rally distractions are more my speed anyway. Careful, Velma might call the cops in multiverse. Oh wait, she doesn't do that anymore. They removed that. Anyway. The world is getting stupider. Besides, there's gotta be someone on your detective squad you'd like to get all close and sneaky with. Give me hope for double dates with Toby. I'll give you hope when you ask him out. Don't change the subject. What are you gonna do? Hey, you brought him up first. Sneak away from the pep rally to investigate Diamond Choice. What a surprise, Donovan. It's nice to meet you here. An hour later, the whole school swarms through the halls and into the gym for the pep rally. Everyone's laughing, goofing off, excited at the break from class. As if someone didn't die on the other side of the door just less than a month ago. Hey. As you step through the open gym doors, Donovan slides up behind you, gently nudging you with his shoulder. Hey, yourself. High school was so tame compared to, adulthood. If you're in high school, enjoy it. It's later than you think. In the gym, Millie's already doing her thing. They're gonna be what? Shark bait! Ooh, Oh, yes! If I didn't make you smile, I don't know what to do. I don't know about left or right shark, but I'm Team Millie Shark. Let's find an opening and get out of here. I'm more than happy to leave behind the ridiculous school rituals of Beechwood High. As the halls start to clear out, you sweep your eyes over the gym one more time and catch sight of 2 school security guards. Yeah, I forgot they have those now. But, as if on cue, Millie dances over and pulls the 2 of them into a dance in the middle of the crowd. You grin and leave it to Millie. Shark bait! Ooh, What? Hey, shark bait! Grabbing Donovan's hand, you take the opening and slip away down the hall. So far, so good. Pep rallies are more fun than you give them credit for. Millie could liven them up, yeah, but yeah, no, they're not my thing. I hated them. Haven't been to one since I investigated who was stealing the cheerleader outfits. Can't say I blame you. Gabby roped me into sticking around for a few over the years. His face contorts, but as you lay a hand on his arm, he shrugs it off. Point is, they're not exactly my cup of tea either. But even as you and Donovan are breathing sighs of relief to be out in the crowded gym, you spot a teacher strolling down the hallway too late to avoid her gaze. Shouldn't you two be at the pep rally? We're just about to go there. We just have to... Donovan casts you a desperate glance, and you take over with a smile. Time for a quick thinking, Blake. We have to steal some time together when we can. Print out Donovan's speech for Gabby. You know what? I'm gonna go with the heart one just to see what happens. You slide your hand into Donovan's. I'm sorry. We shouldn't have to try to sneak away. We just wanted a couple minutes alone. We'll go back to the gym now. Her face softens as she looks between the two of you, which would never happen in real life. You're lucky I'm a romantic. The band room is empty right now if you need a quick smooch sesh. Said no teacher ever. That's, generous. Just make it quick, you two. You got it. Yeah, no. Maybe middle school. Maybe. No, I wouldn't even say middle school. No, let me know in the comment section below. She continues down the hallway and you exchange a look with Donovan. Hey, listen, we can go to the band room. I can't believe that worked. Neither can I, but, you know. You carry on your way towards Lewis's classroom, but apparently the guards weren't held up by Millie's shark dance. One rounds a corner towards you, speaking in a walkie-talkie. Check in the south hall. Grab Donovan's hand and pull him into the first room you see, closing the door as quietly as you can behind you. The music storage closet is blissfully empty. You and Donovan hover just inside the door, listening for the security guard to pass. Yeah, I don't see anyone here. What does it even matter if a few kids skip a pep rally? Oh, you know, I can think of a school thing where that happened about 2 decades ago. You know, we won't talk about that, but you know. Her footsteps fade away, but you and Donovan continue to bide your time, breathing shallowly, inches away from each other as you strain to pick up any more sounds. I think we might be safe. Are you in that much of a hurry to get away from me? Nah, honestly, it's kind of exciting, sneaking around like this. Hiding in tight spaces. Yep, we're not going to talk about this. Listen, you become tainted over the years. My innocence went away a long time ago. You feel the brush of Donovan's breath as he whispers in your ear, but nothing more outside of the door. You grin, and Donovan, caught up in the thrill of your clandestine getaway, you don't miss it when his eyes flicker down your lips and you know you're both reading the clues correctly. You're not sure who closes the gap first, your mouths suddenly meeting with a feverish kiss. Blake. Donovan wraps his arms around your waist and backs you up against the door to deepen the kiss. The door rattles and you both freeze. Do you think the guard heard us? You hold the position for what feels like an eternity, bodies pressed close, and the taste of the kiss lingering on your lips. I think we got away with it. You both can't help but laugh, a giddy release from both fear and the thrill of stealing a moment for romance in the midst of all your troubles. And also in the middle of high school. Guess we should go. You're right. But you linger just a moment longer, long enough for one more gentle kiss, a shared smile, a bated breath, and then you head out into the hallway to get back to work. Fortunately, nothing else goes awry, and you make your way into Lewis's classroom. Once inside, you close the door and get down to business. Gotta make this quick. Periodic table. God, it's been so long. I should check out the drawers. The first drawer you try has 3 things in it. Dusty pair of earbuds, a pack of gum, with a single piece left, and 1 confiscated phone. Lewis usually lets the kids have their things back at the end of the day, but I'm guessing 1 piece of juicy fruit wasn't worth the return trip. You know that's a good teacher, actually. Mr. Billiot, if you're still alive, you big, tall, thunder asshole. Yeah, no, listen, he kept a pen of mine. A pen. I know, it was one that recorded audio, though. back in well, it was actually elementary. He kept it for a year, and then he lost it during that time too, by the way. No, he was an asshole. I hope you'd, like, misplaced a lot of your pins, you prick. Want some gum? Listen, I hold grudges. I think I'll pass. I should check out the desktop. You and Donovan start sifting through the papers on the disks. They're mostly worksheets. Be sure to keep all the papers in the same order you found them, put them back in the same place. Mr. Lewis won't notice if a pile is shifted in position slightly, but he will notice if things aren't organized the same. Roger that. You flip through the pile after pile. Mr. Lewis uses purple pen for grading, not red. You can't help but notice that, even on the sheets with poor grades, he's always managed to find something encouraging to say. Sometimes bad people are good at their jobs. This is true. Also, you forgot to check the trash can. I'm sure that's going to come after, because, you know, your thing with your sister. I should check out the computer. You wake up the computer to see if it isn't locked. Well, if he's hiding anything on the computer, he's not as good as it is Gabby. I wish I could say that means he's innocent. Let's just see what's on here before jumping to any conclusions. Sounding like a true detective. But it looks like he's really only used his computer for work. His browser history is all science and education stuff, because he's a smart teacher. Have you tried searching his inbox for emails from Gabby? On that, no. There's a couple about a club meeting on Tuesdays. That could be code. No, that's legit. GSA meets on Tuesdays, and he's the sponsor. They've been a few times. Well, looks like it's way back during class election season. Makes sense that she'd be visiting more clubs. In that case, looks like this was a wash. You didn't check the trash! You're about to keep searching when Donovan looks at a long sign, sits on the edge of the desk. You join him, a look of concern in your eyes. Think we can take a break for a minute? Sure. Everything okay? Yeah, I mean, mostly, Dude, even if I weren't a detective, that would have been the least convincing yes I've ever heard. It feels weird to be circling on Gabby's killer. Like, if this guy did it, I want him caught, I want him to suffer. But it makes it also real. Yeah. You and Donovan breathe together in the heaviness following the word. What happens when it's over, you know? When we somehow get justice. Right now I'm just still angry, and the case has been a good distraction. But when it's done, do I just have to move on? I don't know. I never got to when it's over. I smile ruefully at him. Maybe I've been afraid of what it means. I know you think you failed Perdita, but Blake, you fought for her. You're fighting for Gabby, for me, using things she taught you. Thank you for helping me bring this to a close, whatever happens after. Whatever happens after, I'll be there for you. I'll be there with you. You and Donovan perch there in determined silence for a few moments, longer than might be advisable, until he nods and stands again. Let's get back to it before someone catches us. You pull out one of the bottom drawers of a filing cabinet and see it's full of school supplies. Donovan peers over. Nothing suspicious in there unless you count holiday-themed erasers. Let's not write it off just yet. You move aside a stack of printer paper and see there's a folder underneath. This seems interesting. You open up to find a bunch of letters from students over the years. Dear Mr. Lewis, thank you for your letter of a recommendation. I can't wait to go to Penn State next year. Thanks, Emily. Mr. Lewis, I don't know if you heard, but I got a 3 on the AP exam. Everyone else told me I wouldn't pass, but I showed them. Thanks for believing in me. Hi, Mr. Lewis. Thanks for talking to me the other day. Miranda still makes fun of me, but now I don't believe what she says. Best, Danielle. Come on. There's got to be something from Gabby in here. And you find it. At the bottom of the pile, a pad of stationery with familiar doodles and handwriting on it. That's Gabby's handwriting. You flip through the notepad and a few pages in it, and you find it. Looks like Gabby purposely hid this from prying eyes. Dear Mr. Lewis, I can hardly believe that this is what my life has become. In just a few short months, we'll be on our way to New York for the wedding of our dreams. I smile every time I think about it. Claudia's noticed. I suppose she thinks it's about Tyler. I've spent my whole life chasing perfection. The perfect look, the perfect friends, the perfect grades, the perfect boyfriend, but I have something better now. I have true love, imperfect as it may be. It kills me to think of how many people think what I've found is gross or wrong, but when I think of you, I have hope for the future. I'll never be able to thank you enough for that. Prom is 247 days away. People laugh at me for being excited. Imagine their faces when I don't show up. I can't thank you enough for making this happen. I'll love you forever. Ever yours, Gabby. P.S. The necklace is so wonderful. I can't believe you went through all this trouble to get it. I wear it whenever I can. How's that undeniable proof? It's written in her handwriting. It's got the same perfume smell on it, and I found in her room. This is it. Snag a picture and return the stationery and shut the drawers. Gabby and Mr. Lewis had a plot to elope. Yeah, but it never happened. Something went awry. Now we need to figure out what went awry. While Donovan combs through the books on Lewis's shelves, you remember that day with Perdita. You can learn a lot about people looking through their trash. Let's see what your cast-offs say about you, Joshua Lewis. Make a beeline for the personal waste paper basket stashed beneath Lewis's desk. No use combing through the banal detritus of the general populace of the Kim class. So far, so boring. Usual suspects, an old worksheet. Haley tried to give him her number last week. And granola bar wrapper. To last week number. At least he threw it out. But nothing here is particularly interesting. That is until the bag slips, and you spot some colorful envelopes at the very bottom of the can. Who are those from? Hey Donovan, get a load of these. What did you find? You sort through the stack of letters. The postmarks go back months. They're all addressed to Josh Lewis from an address in Illinois. Most of them aren't even open. Why would he throw them out without reading them? Maybe he already knew what they had to say. He didn't want to hear it. Time to open one! You open an envelope with a shrug. Well, dear Joshy. Joshy? Shh, let me read. We missed you at Easter. Just break off your ridiculous little fling and come home. Is this disgusting, inappropriate relationship of yours really worth not seeing your family ever again? Your father's so proud man to beg, so I'll do it for him. Please, honey, come home to your senses. You have to know what you're doing is wrong. I love you too much to let this go any longer. Love, Mom. You open another letter. It tells a similar story, begging Lewis to end this wicked relationship so his parents could let him come home in good conscience. Sounds an awful like they knew he was involved with one of his students and weren't gonna let him come home until he ended it. So his parents knew. They knew back in spring and they didn't turn him in. They could have stopped all this. Not really, it's hearsay. I mean, yeah, she could have said something, but we don't know the full story, but she raised him. She probably knew something was wrong. She protected him and he preyed on my sister. Suddenly, you hear an unmistakable click of the door opening with a gasp. You drop the letters back into the bottom of the can, except for one, which you stash in your bag. And then Mr. Lewis strides into the room. What on earth do you think you're doing in here? Oh, nothing. Just looking for some answers. No, okay. Alright, first and foremost, please remember that if you did enjoy the video, to like and share it. Be great. Also, it would be great to have you a part of this community. So consider hitting that subscribe button and also the bell icon, so that way you receive notifications and YouTube will not slowly and surely delete my channels from something that might pop up when content actually pops up on this channel. So do keep that in mind. So without further ado, I hope you did enjoy. Let me know your thoughts so far on this chapter. My thoughts are the following. We don't know. Like, we do know that they had some sort of relationship. We don't know what happened. Um, so I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Here we go. We don't know how old Mr. Lewis is. Okay. Um, they're both in high school, right? Clearly, he's a teacher. But um, how can I put this? Is it improper? Yes. It shouldn't be a thing that should really happen. Um, a great anime to watch about this particular issue is Great Teacher Onizuka. Um, and he was a teacher that pretty much was like, wait, like girls, like there'd be girls in his class who would be like, I really like you, da 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 da. Let's push the boundaries, let's push the rules, and so pretty much he would look at him and be like, come back to me when you're in high school, right? A really great anime if you've never seen it. So again, is it improper? All that, yes. But with that being said, you know, um, since the little love note and everything else, her age, she was 18 at the time of her passing, and everything else. Let's just say it started at 17. It's a misuse of your power and whatnot as a teacher. And again, you should look at someone, especially if they have like a crush or something on you. You should be like, you know what? If you feel the same, come back to me when you graduate. Right? Come back to me. If you feel that way. But otherwise, we cannot do this, no matter what. But again, come back to me when you've graduated. That way, you're 18. You're your own adult, and this can't be used as, influence for grades or yada yada yada, or throw any suspicion whatsoever on you, right? That way it safeguards both individuals. Okay, that's my best advice for this situation. But with that being said, as for Stevie's issue, I very much agree. There are people in this world that are scum, and no one should have to go through something like that. Please, if you do, consider talking with someone. I mean, yeah, kissing isn't a crime, but things happen beyond that. You should never take advantage of someone, regardless. Never. You wait until the damn person sobers up at the very least, and then go, hey, would you like to go on a date? That's it. That's all you gotta do. Just be a halfway decent human being with your whatever you are, male or female. Just be a halfway decent female, or wow, halfway decent female, halfway decent person, regardless. That's all you have to do. Be. And so, again, I've been there as a guy. There's been a lot of people, not to this particular situation, but there's been a lot of people who have misused my trust, in one way or another, even when something that is taking away your better judgment of your mind is not involved. And yeah, no, those people can really hurt you and mess you up for life. So let me say this: I have always said this, and I will continue to say this. Talk to someone. I'm also here if you wish to talk to someone. That's one of the reasons why I have many social outlets and whatnot available for people who need to talk about any aspect, whether it be something about this, whether it be another aspect about, some issues that they're going through or whatnot. Is something that I always open my door for, and it's another feature that I offer, not just as a decent human being, but as a creator here on the platform. It's something that a lot of other people, I would say 99% of creators, do not do. And it's something that I pride myself on, and it's something that I've been doing for fans and members of this community since literally this community was in its infancy. I've always tried to be there for people that reach out to me. Can't be there 24 hours a day. I can't answer instantly, but I usually will get back to you ASAP. So do keep that in mind if you do need to listen to someone that is a very open-minded individual that actually genuinely cares about you, regardless of knowing you or not. So yeah, without further ado, love your beautiful faces. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Peace out.